In this week's episode of Ushio and Tora, Ushio finally gets his grand reunion with his mother. However, it's going to be very short-lived, as the Hakumen no Mono finally moves from its resting place to destroy Earth, the humans, and all demons, and consume all things through the power of its 9 tails. This episode was absolutely heartwarming. Ushio finally getting to meet his mother has been a long time coming, and I have to say I almost teared up a couple of times when he finally got to see her, because the first half of the episode is all about him trying to find an entrance to this massive stone pillar and see his mother, and through the entire time he's just trying to figure out what exactly to say to her. He doesn't know if he should be happy or if he should be angry because she's been gone for so long. He even wants to know if he can actually get some miso soup from her. He just simply wants to see his mother again, and to be perfectly honest with you, when I saw him walk into that chamber and see his mother for the very first time, I actually thought that this was going to be some sort of ruse, a trick. I thought his mother was going to end up transforming into some demon, because she was all like stationary, just sitting in one spot, not even looking at Ushio, and she was covered in dust and soot. But that's because she's actually been sitting there for so long, concentrating on keeping this barrier up around the Hakumen no Mono. And then Ushio finally sees his mother, and it's such a great scene. He falls to his knees, he doesn't even know what to say, all he knows is he can't stop himself from smiling, and he's so happy to see his beautiful mother, who, yes, she is a very beautiful woman, and she herself is also enamored to see her son yet again, and she only has one simple request, which is to pat his head. It's such an amazingly heartwarming scene, and it's also perfect because this weekend just happens to be Mother's Day, so this is the perfect Mother's Day themed anime episode that I've seen in quite some time, and the timing for it just could not be more perfect. However, things on the outside are going really bad. Despite the fact that Ushio is having this amazing emotional reunion with his mother, you have all of these military and army guys who are getting ready to blast the hell out of this pillar with these massive torpedoes, and then you also have the demons from the east and the west, who actually have these giant demonic mechs. That's the only way I can describe it. Imagine if there was like an organic Gundam, basically an Evangelion, if you will, which takes the form of these 2 massive demons, and they're getting ready to go after the Hakumen no Mono. They realize they're not going to have access to the B-Spear, but this is basically their last-ditch effort, and all of these demons are inside of one of these giant living organic mechs. However, the East demons do not see eye to eye with the West demons. They are actually having a bit of a conflict right now, and then they end up just fighting in the middle of the ocean, but their battle gets interrupted when Hakumen no Mono finally decides to move from its resting place, because all of these torpedoes just start flying into the pillar, and this thing just erupts out of the water in one of the greatest, coolest entrances I have ever seen. You see all of these military submarines exploding up into the air, and its tails start to rise up, piercing through multiple ones of them, attacking the giant demonic mechs, and then it just slowly rises out of the ocean like the frickin' Dragon Zord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, except looking 10 times more demonic and evil, leaving everyone pissing their pants, fearing, what the hell are we gonna do now? So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Ushio and Tora? A very simple but very nice and emotional episode. I was really glad to finally see Ushio meet his mother, and despite the fact that they didn't really have a lot of time to talk to each other, it was a really heartfelt reunion. You could really feel that from both of these characters, especially the scene where his mother wanted to pat his head. It was such a nice and tender moment, especially with him sitting on the ground and just smiling, and as she was about to do it, that's when the military started to attack. You knew it was going to go down that way. It totally sucks that the reunion was cut so short by the frickin' military firing torpedoes, and that made things way worse with the Hakumen no Mono finally making its big appearance, which, like I said, its entrance in this episode, when it starts to rise out of the ocean, just looks so damn scary and so cool. It in itself is a really terrifying looking monster. You know, when I first heard about the Hakumen no Mono, that it was like a 9-tailed demon, my first thought, of course, was drawn to the 9-tailed fox of Kurama from Naruto. They do have a lot in common, but Hakumen no Mono is like 50 times more creepier, mostly because of its eyes and its just weird, creepy, pointy face. Just, that thing will haunt your dreams forever. But still, that scene at the end with all those submarines just going up into the air and everything looked really damn good. So it's very obvious from this episode that we're getting very close to the conclusion of Ushio and Tora, because the Hakumen no Mono, of course, is going to be the final villain of the series, and I really cannot wait to see how they're actually going to combat this thing. Considering how big it is and how overall destructive it is in its power, nothing really seems to stop it, although I have a feeling Ushio and Tora are going to be just fine. I just can't wait to see how they're actually going to be able to pull this off, and if the intro is any indication, they're going to have to get some help from the demons of the East and the West, and maybe even from the human military as well, and probably from the Kohamai set. This episode right here, guys, was great. It's exactly what I've been waiting for, and it's a great build-up to the big finale of Ushio and Tora, and it looked really good doing it. So, great episode right here. Fantastic reunion between Ushio and his mother. The Hakumen no Mono is free, and it is pissed off. So, I'm going to give this week's episode right here a 5 out of 5. The last couple episodes of Ushio and Tora have been absolutely fantastic, and I have a feeling it's only going to get better from here. So check it out, Ushio and Tora fans. You'll definitely see something you like. But if any of you guys did watch this week's episode of Ushio and Tora, why don't you tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below? Did you have a favorite scene from this episode? What did you think about the reunion between Ushio and his mother? How are they going to be able to defeat the Hakumen no Mono? Are they going to have to get more of these gigantic organic demon mechs? I think that would be pretty damn cool. And what do you want to see from the rest of Ushio and Tora? Please tell me in the comment section below. You guys are kick-ass! Thank you for watching this review. I really appreciate it. If you would like to help support the channel, please do so by continuing to watch our videos, subscribing to the channel, and sharing them with all of your buds. You guys can also follow us on social media, check out our weekly podcast show. You'll find links for all that in the description box below. So thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!